let me share my screen. I want to talk about two things today, okay? And this will impact anybody who's in the pit and anybody who's has the dashboard, okay? So I want to share my screen and I want to show this to you. Brian, are you here today?
Yeah, he's here. I saw him.
Ooh, Walter made cheese on JP Morgan. Carlos did $1,000 on LMT. That's what I wanted to see. Brian, so we did it. We made some minor, I don't know what you and Matt did, but it worked. But I want to share my screen and show it to everybody so you guys see it. So we were finally able to do this. It finally works. So this is going to be in your members area later today. If you have the ProTrader Dashboard. If you don't have the ProTrader Dashboard, then this is not going to help you. But I wanted to show you guys this. You can see my screen, right, Matt?
Yep.
Okay. But I wanted to show you this because this is very, very, very beneficial. Oh, look at that. He made money on coin too. I love it. I love it. I gave you coin last week too. So you guys see this little tab right here near VWAP, right? Let me just pull up my screen here. This is the VWAP right here, okay? I'm going to show you how simple this is. FANG, it says, is near the VWAP. Oh, there's FANG touching the VWAP. How cool is that? RJF. How many times do you guys hear me talk about, Paul, you'll have to reinstall the scanner dashboard. And so it'll look like mine. I mean, you do want the, I mean, if you don't want the update, you don't have to. It's your call, but we'll put it in the members area for you. And Cam, not Raleigh, his brother and his team will get you guys all hooked up with that. But I wanted to give you a cool update. I wanted to show you a nice update. So you guys are always you always hear me talking about, hey, like for example, let me give you a good example. Like NVIDIA, for example. A lot of times NVIDIA will rally and then it'll hit the VWAP and it'll bounce, or it'll hit the VWAP and it'll bounce down from it. So it's always good to know when you're looking at stocks that are in the upper end of this range and they're hitting the VWAP. It's a very, very, very powerful tool. Okay. Very, 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 very powerful tool. It's so powerful that I base a lot of my trades on it. All right. So not only will you know when a stock is breaking out, not only will you know when it's going high, but you'll also know when it's also stocks that are up here that are near the VWAP are very dangerous stocks because those stocks are going to move one way or the other. Okay. So you're talking about a stock. Now it's not near the VWAP anymore. So it's pretty active. So basically if it's touching the VWAP, it's going to be there. If not, it's not. But, and let me show you to the short side. So right now we got DAL. Okay, this is about as perfect of an example as I could show. So actually, this is a beautiful example. I couldn't get any better. All right, I'll be able to show you two examples with this, okay? So right now, this morning right here. This bar separates the closing. So this is this morning. So Delta this morning went down. Now, I told you guys that I'm expecting a lot of choppiness from the market. So what I would want to see is I would want price to come to the VWAP and then start breaking down on the VWAP. So this is about as perfect as a perfect can be. I don't want to sell it over here. I want to wait for it to break down, still tell me it's the weakest stock on our list or at least it was, And the point is, it alerted me, and Dell is near the VWAP. And that is very, very right here. It's right there. And it's near the VWAP. So instead of waiting, so what I would do is I would wait for it to go above the VWAP or touch the VWAP and then start breaking lower. But Roger, I can get a much better price on the option when it's going higher against me. Yeah, you can, but you shouldn't do that. That's what a fool would do. You want to wait for it to come up and then start coming down again. Okay? Again. So the fact that it's up here is telling us it's still very weak. And it's weak and it's near the VWAP. That's a double whammy right there. In the future, I'll have sessions to show you this, but this is about as perfect of a setup as I could show you. It doesn't get much better than this. Um, like for example, all right. It's the volume average weighted price. It's the average price of today's range. So you see how the market went today from this stock went from 45.50 to 44.75. When you take in all the volume into account, the average price of today is the VWAP. So if the market's rotational and it's choppy and it's not exhibiting a very strong trend, do you really want to go with a breakdown? No, you want to wait for a pullback to the VWAP and then a breakdown from there. Okay? So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. This is for folks who are in the pit and how you'll be able to use this to find trades like this. So you got to, oh, I missed the breakout. I missed the breakdown. That's okay. Catch it on the other side of the VWAP like this. If this breaks down right now, and I don't know if it will, I'm not following the stock. I'm just using it as a great example of here's a breakdown. You missed the breakdown. You get an alert right here that that the VWAP is there, or whenever it shows up, boom, you don't have to sit there and search for stocks that are at the VWAP. Like I know Matt is going to find this very, very valuable because he loves to trade stocks that are pulling back from a trend. And I do too, especially on rotational days. So this is very, very, very important. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to, there's no marketing angle here. There's nothing like that. I'm simply telling you that this is a very valuable tool, especially when you use it with a conjunction of a trend filter like ProTrader Dashboard. So we're adding it. It's added. It's there. Tony, a rotational day is the opposite of a trend day. This is a rotational day, and this is a trend day. A rotational day is a poodle. A trend day is an eagle. I think that makes good sense, actually. What data reference of the VWAP do you use? I use the average right here. I want to see it break down below the VWAP. And by the way, you should only be shorting stocks that are below the VWAP anyway and going long above. So even it's above the VWAP, it's touching the VWAP. Wait for the bar to completely trade below the VWAP, and then you can expect it to come back down if you're trading pullbacks. But my point is the VWAP now gives you an alternative to trade opening range breakout, Joe. You're not going to stump me today. So you're not. So this gives you the second bite at the apple, and that's again this near VWAP that you see right here. You don't have to search 150 stocks because you see me always doing that. What's near the VWAP after the morning? Oh, we missed the breakdown. We missed the breakout. Are we going to get a pullback to the VWAP? You've seen me talk about it in the chat, in the Telegram all the time. This is touching the VWAP. The market is touching the VWAP. Like right now, look at the SPY. The SPY breaks out, touches the VWAP. Breaks out, touches the VWAP. See that? Matt, you get that from Alan.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very cool. You don't have to learn anything. You don't have to pay anything extra. You don't have to do anything. It's going to be in your members area, and it's going to be an update to the scanner that's going to have one more thing over here. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing I wanted to talk about, now forget about the scanner. I want to talk about forget about ProTrader Dashboard for a second. I want to talk about the trading pit. So most of the time you see me giving you guys trades, and this is why I said this is about as perfect of an example as it gets. You don't have to now forget about the VWAP. Just look at this trend right here, okay? And if you're not in the trading pit, you could do this yourself. So I'm giving you something where if you're not in the pit, you could see a cool setup that I'm going to start trading. If you are in the pit, you don't have to do anything. You're just going to enjoy it. Yes, it's for day traders. For swing traders, Peter, you use the AVW, the AVP, the AVWAP, the anchored VWAP. So if you're looking at the day, you would anchor the VWAP. Don't you think we got swing traders covered too, right here? right there. There's your anchored VWAP. So for the day intraday, we use the VWAP. For the daily, we use the anchored VWAP. And I must have said this already 3 or 4 times during this session. What I expect to see in the area members about VWAP, I just done Xiping. I literally just spent 17 minutes showing it to you, my friend. You know, you can go to the and rewind the YouTube channel. I literally just spent 17 minutes explaining it to you. That you're going to get another thing right here in the ProTrader Dashboard members area, and it's going to have VWAP. And Matt, make sure that Cam is either here watching this right now, or that he has a copy of this class, and give Tony. Well, you'll only be able to check it out if you have ProTrader Dashboard, Zuping. And I hope I got your name right. I hate mispronouncing people's names. All right, so now forget about this VWAP thing. Forget about forget about the ProTrader Dashboard. I'm going to talk about the trading pit right now, and I'm going to talk about a new type of pattern that I often get. That I'm good, Xiping, good. A new pattern that I get that I want to show you. So a lot of times, as you all know, this is very similar to the conversation we just had for the last 17 minutes, but it doesn't really involve ProTrader Dashboard. So you see we have a breakdown. A lot of times we will miss this breakdown either intentionally or by accident, or we just not watching it, or we just don't care, or we're not there. But this breakdown, so let's say that it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I've been trading 5 other stocks, and somehow this delta got on my short list, and it's near the VWAP, and I'm looking at it, and I like it, okay? And I'm not using the ProTrader Dashboard. I'm just looking at the stock. So a lot of the times, what you will see is, we'll see a trend, a strong trend down. If you missed that trend, you have a second bite of the apple. A lot of times what you will see is you will see a stock do this, move up just a bit, like 30% of its value, and then start consolidating and coming back down here, and then making a further low and continuing going lower. It happens to the upside, and it happens to the downside. Let me show you. One second. If I could find an example to the upside. Give me one. But this is a perfect example to the short side. We go down. We open at 45.50. We go down to 44.68. I'm rough balling this. Oh, I missed this. I'm going to sell it right here at the low, and the market's rotational. So I'm going to completely ignore everything Roger said. I'm going to ignore everything he said in the morning, and I'm going to sell a breakdown, even though I know, because Roger said it and showed me evidence of it, it's a rotational day. Okay, you're entitled to it, but then you have to live with the pain of this. See, you have to live with the pain of this, which is fine. It's not like a big deal, but you got to live with the pain. Or you could say, okay, let's see what happens next. Then there's 2 alternatives. The stock will either consolidate right here, or will do exactly what the stock is doing right now. And when it's doing what it's doing right now, as long as it starts breaking below this level right here, we have another bite at the apple, and we already even have our first target, which would be the first low. Okay? So I'm just explaining to you. There's if you're looking at the ProTrader Dashboard, if you're in the pit and you see me miss a trade because the stock already did its thing, I missed it. Wait for the pullback, wait for it to recover about 30-40%, and when you see the rounded bottom coming like this, draw yourself a little line and put a little alert here, and you'll have a second bite at the apple right here. And usually the second one is going to continue moving lower. Okay? Yeah, Zuping, this is not in data miner or executive payouts. I don't really even know what executive payouts. It's not my program. So that's what I wanted to show you. So let's see if I could find something to the long side. Let me just see if there is something like that, the long side. Okay, it's perfect. So look, Disney, ba-boom, broke out big. Not as, let me see if I can find a better one. Market is so choppy, it's not easy to find anything right now. Let me see what I could find. No. So, okay, let's just use AMD. It could end up being that today, okay? For hypothetically. It goes up all the way up here, right? Look. Got a strong trend all the way up here, right? It's breaking down. It hasn't even touched the VWAP. We're not using the VWAP here. We're just using our eyes. If you start seeing it consolidating right here, draw yourself a line here and wait for it to break up again. This is a lot of strength right here. The odds are it'll start coming back up. Let's try LAC, Cyrus. No. LAC maybe to the downside. No, it's not a clean. I want to show you a good example. No. No. See, that downside example was just as perfect as it get. Okay. All right. Here's another one for you. It rallies for 15 minutes. Okay. It rallies for 15 minutes. Comes down. Oh, it stops going down. And it happens right at the VWAP, by the way. Just coincidentally, but we don't talk about that. I would put a line right here. And if this starts coming back up, you have another bite of the apple. You want me to look at target? I'll look at target gladly. No, because, well, yes, for here, but then it broke down. But right here, it went up. You would be buying it right there, somewhere around there. Remember, we don't have a trend day today. And what happens on non-trend days? Floppiness, rotation. So yeah, but up to target would be good up to like right here. And then you would get out. My point is, if you see a stock moving up, look, it's moving up. You wait for a little pullback. You don't want a deep pullback. You want a little pullback. And when it starts doing a circle, if the volume is if there's volume coming in here, and if you have a directional day, you get a second bite at the apple. Let's look at APA. I'll try it. Yes, 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 Alan. Yes, 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 yes. Couldn't get better than this. So look, you're looking at the chart. You missed out on it big time. You were too busy playing whatever with your kids or arcade or whatever. You were, working right there. You have a second bite of the apple right there. That's about as good as I'd like to see this actually longer. Like I'd like to see this play out over several hours, but that looks great. I showed you already a short example. I could do it. Yeah, right here. Look, goes down, pulls back, and then you just draw this right here. The key is you want to see a tight consolidation after the break. See, after something like this, you want to see tightness. You want to see digestion, and then it goes further down. So up. Oh, I missed it. No, you didn't. Just put it on your paper and put a star next to it and revisit it in a couple of hours and see if it's doing that. If it's doing that, it can have a nice continuation, because a lot of times what will happen is a stock will move up in the morning, that first half hour, and then why do I say wait first half hour? Let's see the direction. It moves up, and then it flags, kind of has a little rounder, kind of a round bottom, kind of a formation, and then starts going up again. Just make sure you've got the volume. You've got the relative volume there. Or it goes down and it bounces back up, but not all the way up, bounces up and then kind of consolidates. See, you want that compression. The compression relieves the pressure from the directional. So you want that pressure relieved. So this consolidation will help generate this easier. Questions. Tony, does that work on the second pullback or consolidation? Don't worry about second pullback, third pullback. You're looking for a strong directional move that you wished you look. You look at a stock and you say to yourself, God damn it, I missed that move. That's the stock, okay? And then you want to see it consolidate for a long time, even the entire day up till the end. And then the longer it consolidates, the better, actually. And because then it can really move again, another leg versus just a dip. Okay. I'm just trying to show you the mechanics of how markets work intraday with strong stocks or very weak stocks. GLD Friday is a good one. Downward. Okay. I made 14% PDD FAR ever since you told us in the pit. Good, Vivek. Excellent. Excellent. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So again, does it always work that way? No, it doesn't always work that way, but a lot of times it works this way when you have especially when you have a trend day, because what'll happen is this: market will trend and it'll consolidate and then it'll do another leg and then it'll consolidate and then it'll do another. It'll look like this, like a stair step. See? Good, Mike. I was hoping somebody would say that it's very helpful, because Richie's in the pit. That's good. But I was hoping somebody would say it's very helpful because I think it is very helpful because it kind of anytime I show you guys rhythm of the market, it's very good stuff. And now going back to where we started, if you use the VWAP and you have the ProTrader Dashboard, that little yellow filter can help you find this without you having to sit there and do all this stuff. Because, hey, let's see what stocks are near the V. I mean, like all day long, all I'm going to be doing now is let's see what stock is popping up by the V. Like right now, I just got a signal that Amazon just popped by the VWAP. So let's take a look. Boom, look at that. So look. Amazon had a nice strong, it opened down. It didn't just gap up. It gapped down and rallied from it. And by the way, it went right to the VWAP, went up. Now look at this. And now what is it doing? It bounced off the VWAP. Did we draw the line? Yeah. Did it give us a breakout? No. So here's what I would do. Put a line right here. And I would put an alert right here. Obviously, if it keeps going down, it's not going to hit us. But if it comes up here, you have yourself a nice bite of the apple with a target of at least the old high. So I want you guys to know that don't be frustrated if you're using the ProTrader Dashboard and you see something and you're like, oh, I missed it. No, you might have not missed it. You might have caught it at a perfect time because now you can watch how it plays out and whether it has another leg up or not. And the longer it consolidates, the better the odds it'll have another leg up or down. So I wanted you guys to, I wanted to kind of kill two birds with one stone. Talk about the VWAP and how the VWAP can help you. There's no extra charge for that. If you're in a ProTrader Dashboard, it's going to be in your members area at some point today. But I did want you to understand that you can use that, or if you have a different way of picking expensive stocks, you could do it that way too. So if you use 52-week highs, if you use momentum stocks, if you're trading stocks on news, especially stocks on news, they do that. They like Lululemon on Friday went like this, and then the whole day it was just kind of consolidating. I don't know if it broke down further. I'll look right now. Okay, so here you go. Look, breakdown, consolidation. Or what I would do, if it breaks this level, and you can put an alert right here. Here's the level, 392 to 28 or whatever it is, 92 or 390, whatever that level is. It's 393.32. Put an alert there, and boom, breakdown. And the closer it starts getting towards there without a bounce, the better. So don't think for a minute that just because you missed this, that you missed the move. No. You have another bite of the apple at the VWAP. You could have taken it right here at 396 and driven it all the way to 394 if you wanted to. You would have gotten that signal. It was here for 20 minutes. Look, down, VWAP, back down. All right. Yes, Lulu does look like it can go down some more, actually. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And I think if I'm not mistaken, one second, if I'm crazy or not. Oh, well, what do you know? I forgot. Lulu may have more downside left. 10 a.m. It's 12:30 right now. You're welcome. I don't just talk about it in hindsight. I actually tell you about it before it happens. So don't say I didn't warn you, okay? Joe says I used the VWAP past 1 year with success for day trading. Do you wait for 5 minute to close, 15-minute bar to close? Um, I wait for the 5 minute. I don't use the 15-minute bars. For swings, I would use the hourly and the daily, and I would use the VWAP, the anchored VWAP, and I would use it at the lowest pivot. But again, I wanted to show you all that stuff. I thought it would be really a good time to have a lesson when the markets are slow. Now we can go back into the markets. Hopefully this lesson was educational. Matt, can you do me a big favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you have Cam take this session, the first 30 minutes of the session, and take this and make sure that the first 30 minutes of today's session makes its way into the pit and into the ProTrader Dashboard members area.
Yeah.
This is a must, okay? All right. Here, I'm going to you tell him that right now, okay? It's very important that the first half hour of this, and you guys are going to make sure it ends up there because you're going to narc on somebody if it's not there, right? And you're going to let Uncle Roger know, right? Because this information should be in the members area. It's about as good of as information as you're going to get. So I specifically did it for a half an hour. I started right at noon so we could do it for half an hour and it can be in the members area. So let's now continue. Okay. I've already talked a little bit about market action. I've talked about in my morning. I don't want to say the same thing I talked about in the morning. You guys can watch the video. In a nutshell, last week we had a huge amount. You're welcome, Cliff. Last week we had a huge amount of stocks making 90-day breakouts. For those who don't remember, the number was right here, 495. I warned you that this is getting a little toppy. Can you give Alan the YouTube channel, please?
Yeah.
I warned you guys that it's getting a little too toppy. The market is now cooling off. Not necessarily selling off hard, but definitely cooling off. Substantially cooling off. Now this number is at 185 as of 15 minutes ago. Yeah, admin, I'm just kind of keeping you guys. Yeah, what I'm teaching now about the VWAP are just little tidbits. I'm not giving you the main. There's going to be a lot more to it in the course. A lot more. I mean, like a whole lot more to it in the course. Okay. What do I think the market's going to do over the next few days? Well, I think that's the most important question, right? Moondog. Moondog, there you go. Hey, if I'm helping you make money, Moondog, contribute. I'm going to talk about it today, and if I have time, and if I don't, then I'll talk about it tomorrow. I really wanted to spend 30 minutes talking about this, and I think it was well worth it. No, not yet, Louis. Not yet. But I will. I will. Hey, I'm not going anywhere, guys. I don't know if I'm not going anywhere. You know, we're here every day. Okay. So the market was up here. Momentum levels were really high. It has filled this gap. A lot of folks think we're going to come back up. I actually think that we're going to come down all the way up here or up here before going higher. So I'm going to give you my personal opinion. Doesn't mean that that's what the market's going to do. I'm telling you what I think. I think the market's going to do this and curl right back down. I think that it tried filling this gap. It didn't really do well. And I see more downside. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see the market go higher. I know a lot of you are more biased to the long side. I particularly have no directional bias whatsoever. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if the market went down for the next 10 years down. It wouldn't make any difference to me. But I know a lot of you guys do. VIP is not posted in the members area, or yeah, I think it's now being posted again in the members area, but you can always find this video in the YouTube channel